The first step in my mechanics is to get into the front of the box. I do so because that gives me more margin for error. I have more fair territory to work with. Once the pitcher comes into his set position to deliver the pitch, as soon as he comes up to his balance point and starts to break his hands, I'm going to show sacrifice bunt, and I'm going to create my angle early so I can have as least amount of movement as possible. As I square around to bunt, there's a couple options that I have to execute perfect sacrifice bunt mechanics as far as my bottom half is concerned. I can rotate with my back foot, squaring up my knee and opening my front foot a little bit and widening my stance slightly to create good balance. That's one option. The second option at the lower levels is to actually square up to the pitcher to sacrifice bunt. The third option is to really open ourselves up so we can get our head forward and create good balance, and we can get in here and bunt. As we pivot our back foot, we get our shoelaces directly to the pitcher. We open our front foot slightly and we create just a little bit of space here to get ourselves under control. With my top hand, I need to pinch the bat. I want to make sure that I'm in no danger of breaking my fingers. But you see what I have found here. I have found the balance point of the bat. That's the perfect spot for my top hand to go. If I'm too low with my top hand towards the knob, the bat's going to want to drop down, the bat head is. If I'm too high up on the bat head, the knob's going to want to bounce. So we want to find that balance point of the bat where if I actually let go with my thumb, the bat would stay balanced. This is going to give me the most control with the bat. Once I've established my top hand position, I want to get my bottom hand position. Now, in theory, I want to be about 12 inches apart on my grip when I sacrifice bunt. Why? Because this gives me control. If you notice, if I take my bottom hand and keep it down on the knob, every movement that I make with the knob hand is exaggerated doubly with the barrel. However, if I split that distance and I get within 12 inches of the top hand, now I can make really tiny adjustments to the ball as I'm trying to sacrifice. Let's face it, the pitcher's not always going to throw us a routine fastball down the middle to bunt. What determines our angles is our bottom hand. So as I get on out into perfect sacrifice mechanics, if I'm going down first, my bottom hand just simply pushes forward slightly. If I'm going to third, my bottom hand pulls back slightly to create an angle. If my goal is to have the least amount of movement as possible, I have to make sure when I show sacrifice bunt that the barrel of my bat is across the plate. What kind of pitch are we bunting? A strike only. A strike only. So I have good plate coverage. Now I get my bat at the top of the strike zone. I do all this as the pitcher is getting ready to deliver me the pitch. I'm here. I know that any ball above my barrel is just that. It's a ball. And I'm going to pull back. Okay? If any ball is below my knees, I pull back for a ball. My goal is to bunt strikes. You'll notice how far away the bat is from my body. I do not want to lock my front arm, for that's going to cause hard hands. I just want slight bend in my elbow, and I want to get the bat just below my eye level. The term I call for this is eye-bat ratio. By sinking my butt in my knees and keeping the bat up, now my eyes are right above the level of the bat. My goal is to maintain that throughout the bunting process. In this particular case, I'm going down first. As I bend my knees, the distance between the bat and my eyes, in theory, should not change. until I get all the way down to my knees, which I know is a ball, and I'm going to pull back. It is much easier to track a baseball to the barrel of my bat when my eyes are just above the level of the barrel. However, if I use poor mechanics and I have my barrel down here, the ball is coming in and I'm looking down on the baseball. It's very hard to be precise when I'm trying to sack if I have the bat that low. And not only that, I open myself up to get hit with a foul ball. However, if I sink my butt, bend my knees, get the bat to the top of the strike zone, now if the ball is bunted foul, it's going back over my head.